Okay, obviously Kyrie, one of your favorite players.
Absolutely.
No, you caused a stir earlier in the season with the comments about him and Luka, but I think the other point is this Mavs squad finished 11th last season, doesn't make the playoffs. Kyrie, free agent, can go wherever he wants. Decides to stay, and now this same squad, minus a few adjustments and trades that were made before the deadline, now going to the finals. And I don't think it's unreasonable for any of us, we talked about it yesterday, to say that Kyrie can win finals MVP. I feel like it's wide open. Obviously, if the Mavs win, it'll likely be Luka because he's going to fill up the stat sheets. But what we saw in Kyrie in the Western Conference Finals, he has the ability to take over games, and he has the chip on his shoulder going back up against Boston in that situation. So the question for you, Kenyon, is what version of Kyrie do you expect to see in the NBA Finals?
2016. 2016 version. Like Gil just stated, it can either night it can be 1A, 1B. Like I stated last year, they're gonna have to average between Luka and Kyrie from 60 to 68 points between them in the series. And he could be on the higher end of that. He can be the 33 or 34, whatever it is. So I'm expecting that version. That 2016 killer version of Kyrie Irving in the finals. Focused, clear head, more mature. So from the tip, I'm expecting him to come out and then be that alpha and be that assassin that we know he can be. With high stakes. So the last time we saw him on these stages, so.
Rashad, what version of Kyrie are you expecting to see in the NBA Finals?
I think this is going to be the most challenging situation for him offensively. I like to talk hoop when we go into depth to shit like this. OKC, Minnesota. The defenders that he had on him and the team he had on him are newcomers to his style of play. They're not used to knowing what the hell is Kyrie's going to do to us. What are we expecting? I think the Boston Celtics, between Drew Holiday's leadership on the defensive end when it comes to experiencing Kyrie Irving through the duration of his career, can be able to coach them through knowing how to guard Kyrie for this series. And even though Kyrie's good enough to get his lays, get his finishes, bank shots, all that stuff in the pick and roll, I think it's going to be a tougher challenge for him to hit 30 plus, even 25. Because we've seen him have games where he has 16, 15, where he kind of just let Luka do him. I think this is going to be the toughest one because they have actual experienced defenders. I think McDaniels and Ant-Man just didn't have what it takes to take care of both of them, neutralize Luka and Kyrie. Lou Dort and Shea Allen, they new to this, right? So Kai and them could take their leadership and their experience to another level and say, I know they can't guard this. When I go to this, they can't get to this. But Drew, I think, is going to take it personal to match up with Kyrie, and I think Jaylen Brown is going to take it personal when switched off and really, sit down and really try to guard Kyrie and put a stop to it. It's going to be a tougher challenge. I'm not saying he can't overcome it. He can't do what he does. I just don't think it's going to be at the highest clip where we're going to see him dominate at 30 plus, because that means he's going to have to take more shots. And I don't think he's comfortable right now with the way that their offense is moving to take more than the shots he's been taking. Even in that last game, he had 36, but that came at the effect that Minnesota was being fucking railroaded at that point. So it was just like, he can do what he wants. They had already given up.
What are you averaging this series?
Against the Timberwolves?
Anywhere from 23 to 20.
Like 27, I thought, but.
Yeah, they both average about.
1 second. Yeah, 27, 5, and 4.
Yeah. What are you averaging OKC?
Like 25.
I don't think he averaged.
I don't even think
he wasn't that aggressive.
Passing the ball.
Yeah, he wasn't that aggressive.
16.
He was being a facilitator in that
6
series.
and 2 rebounds.
Yeah, he wasn't looking to score.
That's what I said. Remember, and that's what our conversation is.
Which version do you think you're going to see?
The 27 and more, Kyrie.
Yeah.
That's what I said. It's like remember when Ant-Man said that.
Yeah.
Especially
think about his mentality going into that series, though, with the Timberwolves knowing we're going to go pick and roll and who I can get my 27 on.
Well, even
Ant-Man said, I got him. That's where 27 came from.
But they came in the pick and roll. It wasn't on one-on-one with Ant-Man. All Kyrie's points came pick and roll switches, going to the basket, bank shots, left hand, pull-ups on
Kyrie
the pick
was
and roll.
one-on-one.
Threes.
It wasn't. It wasn't. I watched.
It was a
Trust
mix.
me,
It was the same.
dissected
It was the same game as what? They just this time someone challenged me to stop me, and I'm going.
It was pick and rolls. That was their whole game. Pick and roll lobs and the whole
He was
nine.
being more aggressive than he was in round one.
In the first halves too, he was doing more first half aggression.
The first half of the first series,
Make
he was
y'all
being
adjust.
Even the
facilitated,
Clipper
getting
series.
everybody involved. Came out against OKC, getting everybody involved, getting his guys in the fourth quarter. He was when the last 5-6 minutes he would turn it on. Against Minnesota, he came out there, motherfuckers. Man said he was gonna guard him. Averaged 27. Ain't nobody said shit, but he know what's on the other side, and Drew and Derek and those guys. So therefore, I think he's gonna be up for the challenge, and they gonna have a hard time.
So he averaged 27, 6 rebounds, 5 assists against the Clippers.
2.
Drop off, obviously, versus the Thunder.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It's not like they stopped. He just wasn't aggressive. It's like he didn't need to. He was aggressive when he wanted to.
And it seems like the Celtics are.
P.J. Washington played well against OKC. That was the Derek Jones. He was deferring shots and stuff like that when he could have been taking. I don't see him doing that right now.
And just looking ahead to this NBA Finals, what would winning a chip without LeBron mean for Kyrie's legacy? Because right now they still treat him as Bron's little bro.
Who does?
That's just kind of the narrative.
You mean the LeBron fans?
Just to me.
Actually, I don't even
LeBron
know.
fans can't leave shit alone.
No, what's so funny is it ain't.
LeBron can't even leave shit alone.
Nah, it ain't even
It's
LeBron
a
fan.
relevant
Leave that
topic.
shit alone.
And they're
It
friends again
What do
now.
you mean you miss him? He can move around.
That's what I said. Nah, it's not LeBron's
Move
fan.
around.
LeBron
man. We
fans
don't wanna hear
don't.
that shit. Let Kyrie be Kyrie, man.
They can't miss each other?
That is-
He there, you not. Nigga, relax.
They
That is
both
me.
said that they
Sit
were
down.
trying to get back
See, that's
together.
down.
what I said. You using the narrative doesn't.
Sit down.
It's anti-media for Kyrie fans. It's the hatred towards Kyrie. That's what you're knocking his career and said, oh, you only wanted shit because of LeBron. That's those guys who trying to be anti-Kyrie because of stuff that has nothing to do with anything.
It's nasty work.
But you feel like there's a potential for them to say, you only want a chip because now you have Luka. But I feel like Kyrie could be Finals MVP.
You know what I think
No,
it
they
was?
can say that to LeBron too.
Yeah.
You only want, but that's what I said.
only one guy got.
And that's why I said it wasn't LeBron fans because if you watch the game,
Absolutely.
Kyrie earned
What?
he earned his ring, right? We know he earned his ring. I think just Kyrie himself as a basketball player wanted to prove to himself that he can be the full lead dog and win a chip, right? And I think, we can't say he regrets the decision, but we can say he probably thinks about that decision a lot, right? Knowing that how it panned out.
Hindsight.
In hindsight, but
They was gonna get smacked
he
either way,
he has a chance to, make himself whole. The basketball community itself, we know the chip he won was because of him too, right? 1A, 1B, and then depending on what game, he was 1A, LeBron was 1B, right? So, I think the championship, if he wins it, this is for him. I think he's redeeming his decisions that has happened. I don't. The decision to not take the shot and all that. That's not part of his. That's not part of Kyrie's book. I think that the time he decided to go to Boston, I think for him itself, because he was getting to his own, right? He felt that I'm not Robin, I am a Superman too, and I want to show everybody I'm a Superman too. I think it's just that 1-2 years for him, I think that's what this championship is over with.
I'll say this. Quote from Kyrie. I want to be traded.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be the focal point of a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never be that here. Goes to Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, things happen family-wise that put him in a disarray mentally. He couldn't really deliver the way he wanted to because of the things off the court, right? His career then goes in a certain direction because now you're trying to battle expectations from Boston, and then you're going to other teams now, trying to figure out that path and find that way. He finally found a place where he can be himself outside of the shit we consider the most diabolical shit in sports, what happened in Brooklyn during the COVID shit. Because he took a stance and then he shared a link, and all of a sudden he should be canceled from the whole sport. Think about rebounding from that, going to Dallas where you're now playing super second fiddle to the newest superstar in the league. How do you fit in with this? And I even questioned it. Like, yeah, man, I don't know what Kyrie gonna do here except for be number 2. But as maturity tells you, you learn to be a contributor to something great, and that's what he's doing. So now when he has the opportunity to be back into a position where he can show that his greatness is his greatness, from the number 1 pick, from playing at Duke, from being a focal point of a franchise and then being overtaken by some guy who didn't want to stay where the fuck he was at in Miami. Now you want to bring me back up. You for wish you never broke up with me.
Okay, and that's fair, but also from the other side, how much is it part of Kyrie's growth to say, look, I want to go do this and be the man, try it, but then recognize I got a great opportunity to come here and re-sign with them. So,
but this is my whole thing about the same thing we were talking about earlier, right? The T-Mac, the music. This is the example of it, right? If we stop Kyrie's career during that rough time, what does his name look like? He got a chance. He was here. He fell, hit rock bottom. Now he's back up. That it's the career. We got to see what makes you great. The fact that the world turned against you. They said you averaging 27. They said you need to retire. You ain't shit. And you're here. That's it's the character that kept fighting. He didn't quit when he got knocked down or it felt like he got knocked down. He came back up and now he's in this position. So that's what makes us us. You break your leg, number 1. Break it again, had a career, right? That's what it's the bounce back, the Derrick Rose, right? Lost his career. They thought it was over. Goes to Timberwolves, scores 50. Tears come. And I know why he was crying. There was nights he probably cried thinking he would never get his career back. He would never be able to play like this again. So when he did it, it's for those nights. But if Derrick Rose would have stopped there, we would have never seen the growth of Derrick Rose, the mentor of Derrick Rose, the person. That's what careers are, right? So when someone says, if you had a vote to vote him in the Hall of Fame, I'm voting him in the Hall of Fame because, his stats don't do it because of unfortunate circumstances, but the person himself was a Hall of Fame person. What he started with, what he went through, and the fact that he still fought the rest of his career, that's Hall of Fame.